Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Home Cooking with Steve and James. I'm here where we take the greatest family recipes in my family and I try and recreate them. Sometimes we hit, sometimes we miss. What's more important than family and food? Nothing, and nothing is bigger than my mother's chicken cutlets, which is what we'll make today. First, you got to make sure you got yourself a nice hot oil going, boiling at about 350, 375. Canola oil, got your breadcrumbs, your fine garlic powder. If you want a little bit of spice, you can get a little crushed red pepper, some garlic powder, onion powder, some salt, a little bit of lemon juice that we'll squeeze on the chicken right now. Give it a little bit of zest, just a little something, just a little kick. We have our egg wash here. I usually use 4 eggs in my egg wash. We already pre-beat it to get it out of the way. We've pre-flattened our chicken breast, boneless, skinless, of course. If you have a cheese allergy, another way you can go is panko. Panko is a better version of, it has no cheese, it's Japanese style breadcrumb. You can use that if you have a cheese allergy or a dairy allergy instead of what my preference is 4 Seasons. So let's just get underway. The first step, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've left out your chicken. What people don't know is that if you don't leave your chicken out to reach room temperature, if you take it straight from the fridge, the tendons in the chicken don't relax, so it makes the meat tighter when you cook it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take our meat. Whether you want to pre-season it or not, if you want to season the raw meat, that's fine. I usually don't. What we're going to do is we're just going to drop them in the egg wash, one at a time. Every important moment in my life, these chicken cutlets were there because, you know, whether it be from announcing that my kids were being born, that my ex-wife was pregnant, or even going off to war. It was always there. So this specific dish is something very special to me. What you're going to want to do is you want to season your breadcrumb. Even though it's already seasoned, I still like to do a little bit of something just to zest it up. I'm an Italian, so I like my garlic, so we're going to get a little fine garlic powder after some salt, just a little bit. No one's looking. We'll get a little bit more. Why not? All right, get a little onion powder going. A little bit right there. Move on to the red pepper. I like it a little bit spicier, so I add a little bit of red pepper. Also, what you could do, if you like it a little bit spicier, is you can actually add a little bit of Frank's Red Hot into your egg wash. Gives it a little bit of kick. I do that with my fried chicken, so you know that's something you could do too. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your covered egg, chicken in egg wash. First, let's mix up this breadcrumb. Get the seasoning all in there. Don't be afraid to use your hands. You know, feel it out. Just like Grandma used to do. Just feel it out. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to dredge it. Make sure it gets nice and good on there. Shake off a little bit of the excess. Lay it down. Move on to the next one. You're going to dip it. Make sure it's fully covered and pat it so it really sticks to the egg on the chicken. That's what you really want to do. You want to get it in there, a couple of flips. We got one more. I think we got 3 pieces today. I know I'm going to be eating very well. All right, so what we're going to do, make a mess. It's okay. It's okay. You know, clean as you go if you can, but it's okay to make a mess. Cooking's all about creativity and putting yourself into it. So what we're going to do now is you got to make sure your oil is hot before you put it into the pan. I can tell that it's hot. It's been preheated to 350. Be careful. Be very careful because once we start laying this in there, it's going to sizzle nice and good. If you don't have the right temperature on it, what you'll get is just chicken sitting in oil, and it gets oil logged. And I don't know if you've ever had, you know, an oil logged piece of meat. It's not very good. It's not very appetizing. So there you go. You drop it in there. Again, I have this set at 350. You can do 375 if you like, because remember the chicken is colder, so it's going to bring down the temperature of your oil to about 300 generally. So if you want to go between 350 and 375, that works too. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we clean our hands here, because remember, handling raw chicken, got to be careful with that. All right. So we're cooking this. You just wait. Get a little shot over here. All right. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get a little closer. It's hot oil. Give it a little turnsy. So you want it to get nice and golden brown. You don't want it to get too brown. You don't want it to burn. You don't want it to sear too much. See, this is a smaller piece of chicken. In the middle, I would have liked to have kept that a little bit longer, but this one right here is perfect right now. We're going to let it sit probably about 8 to 10 minutes, give or take. And if it's not there, remember, the internal temperature of chicken is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. You need that in order for it to be safe to consume. So make sure you got it there. If you don't have a meat thermometer on you, I've been doing this a long time, so I can kind of eyeball it. But if this is your first time doing it, use the meat thermometer. Well, we're cooking this down, but you know what? We like to work in real time. We like to get a little bit fancy. And with that being said, we have it right here. Serve it over a plate of nice pasta, fettuccine, as well as some broccoli. Garnish with a little bit of lemon, and there you go. My mother's chicken cutlets. How about that? The only thing left to do is to get eaten. I'm Stephen James, and this has been Home Cooking. Join me next time when I take on empanadas. Good night.